What is going on, trainers? Drumvillain here, bringing you some more Pokemon Go PvP content, and today we're looking at more Great League Remix Cup battles. Now, honestly, we've struggled a bit with Remix Cup as it's raged on. We were at around 2750 around the expert rank point, and through Remix Cup we've actually tanked down to around 2600 points, and then using this team have climbed our way back up to around the 2750 point mark. Now, I don't think this team is the best team to use for Remix Cup, and I wouldn't personally recommend it, but I think it's good to show how a team that has especially one glaring weakness in a meta can still perform effectively, and also a team can seem like a good idea, but really you need to rethink that team if you are running into something that's common in the meta. So this team consists of Altaria lead, and our Altaria is a 1-14-6 IV spread running Dragon Pulse and Sky Attack. There's also a strong argument to make to run Dazzling Gleam so that you can hit Mandibuzz for super effective damage, as well as other dark types if you need that nuke. We're running Haunter on the safe swap position and Drifblim in the back. Now, Sludge Bomb is our nuke of choice on Haunter, paired up with Shadow Punch, because there's a lot of Charmers running around in Remix Cup, and Haunter being able to one-shot them with a Sludge Bomb comes in clutch quite often, and Icy Wind and Shadow Ball is the standard moveset on Drifblim. So we're going to jump into the first matchup, and our first lead is Vigoroth, which is quite an unusual lead. It's more often played in the safe swap position on a team, and it is a positive lead for us, but also it's also very positive for Drifblim. Drifblim absolutely walls Vigoroth. So they swapped out into Sableye, and we're staying in because Sableye is bad news for our team. Altaria is our best answer to Sableye, so better off staying in here with Altaria, taking out the Sableye and lining up Vigoroth onto Drifblim later on. And we're happy to even go down shields if we have to win this matchup. We shouldn't have to, but if we did need to, we'd be happy to do so because Drifblim's matchup over Vigoroth is so dominant. So we take switch in the 1-to-1 shield situation, which is pretty good for us. We're just going to see what they've got in the back. They've got a Clefable, it's a Charmer. So Haunter's going to be resisting the charm, but also Haunter is an absolute glass cannon. It is probably the most glass cannon in Great League. So we're going to bait with a Shadow Punch and then hopefully get to Sludge Bomb, but they let it go through, which is kind of scary. So we should really have thrown the second Shadow Punch there before they got to this move, but we're going to shield up and then throw. Well, we should have thrown the Shadow Punch, but we don't. We make a mistake there, but it's not going to matter because at most the Clefable will get one charm worth of damage onto Drifblim, and Drifblim's just going to be able to wall off this Vigoroth entirely and still have enough health left to take that one charm of damage. And you're going to see here they do quite a clever play, because we're debuffing them as we go, and they're going to swap out into Clefable to clear that debuff to reset the amount of damage that they can be putting out. But really, it is such a hard punish. It's double resisting everything that Vigoroth is throwing, so we're just going to have to take these moves all day even if they reset the debuff. And that's going to be a GG to us to start off here. Now, if they'd have managed to actually catch an Icy Wind on Clefable, this might actually have been pretty close, because these body slams are really adding up over time. They must have thrown maybe 5 or 6 body slams at this point, but we're able to get to this Icy Wind, get them low, and then we'll just finish them off with a couple of hexes. GG. Now, with this team, you could probably swap Haunter for Gengar if you had to, but Gengar needs the legacy move Shadow Punch, which was from its community day, and then as well running Sludge Bomb on it again. And in the second match we get a Shadow Machamp lead, which is pretty unusual for Remix Cup. I would argue that Medicham is probably the most dominant counter user in Remix Cup, along with Defense Form Deoxys. But we're gonna have to shield up anyway, because that the Rock Slide, if they had have thrown, that would have done absolutely massive damage. And I think they thought they could get to a Rock Slide after baiting with Cross Trap, but they can't because Dragon Breath is such an oppressive move. And now they bring in Pelipper, which is nuts, because Altaria has a very good matchup against Pelipper as well, and then they've got a Gengar in the back, so Altaria is absolutely running rampant on this team. And I think now we're going to swap out into Haunter, because we'll have a slight health advantage and force them to throw energy. And we're going to shield and possibly farm down here, pressure them to either throw if they've got an extra. Yeah, we weren't sure if they were at a Shadow Punch again there, so we wanted to throw, make sure we got rid of it and didn't just lose the energy on Haunter. This forces the Pelipper to throw to take us out, and then we've got all the health in the world left on Drifblim and on Altaria to finish this thing off. so it's going to be a GG. But again, this team here was triple weak to Altaria, and that it shows just how dangerous it can be to build a team that is triple weak to something, because they really struggled to handle it there. So let's jump into the third match. I think this is going to be where we see the main weakness. Maybe it's in the back. Yep, there it is. On the safe swap, Bastiodon. This team has absolutely... It's not got zero play against Bastiodon, but it really struggles with it. And if you've been playing Remix Cup, you have no doubt seen Bastiodons running around. They're fairly common. They're not on every team, they're not super dominant, they're quite easily hard punished with a counter user, but they are very common for shutting down the Flyers and the Charmers in Remix Cup. And this team just does not have a good answer for a Bastiodon. And we didn't see that many climbing back up to 2750, and then we started running into a lot of them, which was where we reached the point where we decided that this team might not be viable for making that push towards legend rank, but this team was very effective at getting us back up to that expert rank point. But we're happy to take what we can get. So jumping into the next match here, and we get a Pelipper lead. Again, a brilliant lead for Altaria because you're resisting the weather balls. The wing attacks aren't doing much, and you just have to watch out for that Hurricane, but you outpace them getting to Sky Attack. So they swap out to Registeel, and we're going to bring in Drifblim into this. And really we could have gone either way, either Drifblim or Haunter. It could even stay in with Altaria, because with 2 shields up you can actually Dragon Breath down a Registeel in the Great League, which is kind of nuts and just shows how strong Altaria actually is in the Great League. And it's kind of been forgotten about for a while in the Open Great League with Azumarils and Galarian Stunfisks running around. But we're happy bringing in Drifblim here because we slightly outpaced Registeel getting to these Shadow Balls, and it's roughly 2 Shadow Balls to take out Registeel, and it needs to land 2 Flash Cannons to take us out. But since they've shielded, we might even be able to double shield here and farm down that energy to throw out whatever's in the back. So they swap out into Pelipper, and this is a good play on their part because it wastes our energy. This is going to take us out and get rid of that. Must have been 70-ish energy we had stocked up there. But also, it means that they give up Switch, so we can get Altaria locked onto this Pelipper and get rid of this nice and easily. We build 2 Sky Attacks to get an extra shield out of them. So now all shields are down, and as long as they don't have a hard wall to Haunter, that gives us a lot of play in this endgame. And it's actually a Diggersby in the back, which is a hard wall to Haunter, as it's resisting, double resisting even the ghost moves. So we're actually going to stop in with Altaria and do as much damage as we can to this, because Altaria is a very good answer to a Diggersby. It's double resisting the Earthquake, it's resisting the Fire Punch. So now we're going to come in with Haunter and force this Diggersby to throw energy. Maybe we tempt the Registeel out. We're just here just to put some pressure on, and they actually catch a Sludge Bomb on Registeel, which really gives them a win con, because now if they farm down Haunter and get enough energy to spam moves at Altaria, this is really dangerous all of a sudden, whereas really before we could have just farmed down with Altaria and had energy to dump into the Registeel and still had Haunter. So we almost gave away this winning, very strongly winning position. See how close this is going to get us to taking us out because of the energy they're able to build up, but we are still going to be able to take them out, and that's going to be a GG's. If you have a win con, you've got to be careful not to throw it away like we very nearly did there. And in this match we've got a Sableye, which again, very, very good lead for Altaria because the Dragon Breath is so oppressive and you can comfortably take a foul play. And since it's a purified Sableye, you know they're probably not running Power Gem. So we're happy to let that through. If they did build to return, it's kind of high risk because if you let a return go through, I think you're at risk of being Shadow Clawed down. But they threw straight away, so we knew it was a foul play, so that wasn't really any stress. And we're going to swap in Haunter, assuming that maybe whatever they have in the back is also weak to Altaria, because staying in with Sableye doesn't make a great deal of sense in that lead. So we're thinking maybe Registeel is their only Altaria answer. So we're going to swap out to one of our ghosts to maybe drag out whatever that Pokemon is. And it's a Minun. Like, what on earth is a Minun doing in Great League Remix? But it's up here and it's performing pretty well for them, and it's actually really bad news for my team. So this is kind of scary now. We are going to bring in Altaria, though we are pretty low. We might be in discharge range, and we pull the trigger a second too late and lose CMP tie. This is scary. So we're gonna have to shield just to get off this sky attack. And even though this is resisted, I think Minun's quite squishy. I don't really know. I can't say I've ever played against Minun in Great League, but they're gonna throw a discharge here, and now we're gonna have to commit to a farm down with Drifblim. And we're probably gonna have to eat a discharge and pray that we can survive to have a Shadow Ball to throw at the Registeel and take it out. So the Hex that's just gone through should take out the Minun. If we survive barely, we get absolutely smashed to pieces by that discharge. But we got the Shadow Ball. This should take out the Registeel, and we should just be able to farm down. Maybe not. It's going to be close. Can we survive? Just. We take the win. GG. Gotta love the Minun Spice, and it very nearly paid off from there. Up now against Daddy's Sausages, and Daddy brings the Bastiodon. It is not at all what we want to see, but we don't want to see this thing anywhere for our team. So we're going to swap into Drifblim because really Haunter's our best answer. But this must give away to them that we're so weak to Bastiodon overall. So they're probably going to start shielding the Shadow Balls anyway. That this Bastiodon could just run through the entire team. So really the better play might just be to stay in with Altaria and just chip it down with the Dragon Breaths. But we swapped out. They let one Shadow Ball through, which is okay for us. We're going to wait out the clock and then probably bring in Haunter and hope to just get it down with Shadow Punches. We can't even throw the Sludge Bomb Nuke because that's resisted by the Steel typing. I say you've really got to be careful building a team to not be triple weak to something in the meta, because otherwise you're going to have to play like this. You're going to be floundering, making mistakes, giving away your team comp too early and letting them just run rampant on your team. They know that they can just save the Bastiodon because it's probably got play, and at least they swap in a Superior here, so we're going to farm down entirely. And what we need to do in this game is throw all this energy at Bastiodon, then swap to Haunter, and if there's something else we can farm down with Altaria with that smidgen of health, and then dump more energy into Bastiodon to maybe take it out. But what we do instead is we swap out immediately into Haunter. We're trying to throw the Shadow Ball straight away on it to put pressure, and they catch on Meganium, and this is GG's because we've got full energy on the Altaria, so we can't farm down for more energy, which we need. We would need even more energy to throw at the Bastiodon than the 100 that we've already got, so we should have thrown initially before swapping, but we're going to take an L here. I think we're going to leave the match. Yeah, GG. If you're not seeing any Bastiodons at your ELO when you're playing in Remix Cup, this team works very, very well, but it does just get absolutely wiped out by a Bastiodon. Similar to the Caleb Peng Skarmory double grass team, where it was a very effective team unless your opponent brought a fire type into the meta, and then if they brought a fire type, that was it. That team just got swept in its entirety by something like a Shadow Mawile or now a Talonflame. So you've really got to be careful when building a team and be very aware of what people are using and what's strong and popular, what people are using, because if everyone's running the Pokemon that hard counters your team, whether it's a good Pokemon or not, then your team's no good because it's not going to be able to win what you're seeing. Now in this game we had a good lead and a good safe swap, so we had Altaria locked onto the Superior to start with, and then they swapped into Mew, which we punished with Haunter, and we chose Haunter specifically because it's got the least play against Superior on the team, and also we figured we gave up swap against the Mew. We figured it was worth keeping one shield because both Drifblim and Altaria have good play against Superior, so getting switch advantage didn't feel that important really, and having a shield for something dangerous in the back felt more useful for the team. And it's a Registeel, so having that shield to block one Flash Cannon is going to go a long way. So we're going to throw 2 Shadow Balls, get this thing super low, then probably swap into Altaria, go for the Dragon Breath down, I would assume, just to not risk being lock-on farm down, and they're going to concede that match there. Good game. This team's main advantage is being unconventional. You don't really see Double Ghost running around in the Remix Cup. You don't really see it running around in Open Great League either, but that's, I mean, Umbreon is too big of a problem if you're running Double Ghost really, and also Scrafty, whereas in this meta there are less threats to the Ghosts. So you've got Sableye, but you can normally bait that out with either Haunter or Drifblim and let Altaria take care of it. But here we've got another Bastiodon on the save swap. We bring in Haunter and we're going to just spam Shadow Punches at this thing, hopefully get 3 Shadow Punches off if we're lucky, which might put some pressure on a shield. Can we get one more? Nope. It's not good. We've got both shields out of him though, which is pretty good, I guess, because we're going to need our shields down to hopefully sweep. We're bringing Drifblim, so now the Bastiodon knows. The Bastiodon knows that the entire team is weak. Although they've got no shields left to do anything about it. They're swapping Medicham, no doubt to tempt out my Altaria here. But we're going to come in and throw the Sky Attack. And we're just hoping that Drifblim can really just sweep this end game. We're hoping it can take out the Bastiodon and take out whatever their third Pokemon in back is. So we Dragon Breath down. We've got some energy, but obviously we're not going to be able to take this thing out with this energy. We're going to throw the Dragon Pulse because it's the more energy efficient move to throw against a Bastiodon. If you're stuck in that position, throw a Dragon Pulse if you can. We're going to get on the Drifblim, throw a Shadow Ball. This should take it out, hopefully, and then it's just does Drifblim beat what's in the back? It's a Tropius. Right, we need to throw the Icy Wind straight away, get this thing debuffed so we can survive the moves, get to a second one and take it out. So we might just be able to flip this one matchup with a Bastiodon. Somehow the stars have aligned and we might just be able to take this win with a Bastiodon. We might just have handled it. This should take out the Tropius and that's going to be our game through some miracle. GG. So as you can see, we can handle a Bastiodon, but only if the other two Pokemon on their team lose quite hard to the other two Pokemon on our team. Like, we have to have a severe advantage to get enough excess to beat the rest of their team as well. And here we've got an Altaria mirror match. Now, the way I like to play this matchup is I like to not try and throw my Sky Attack first. I like to try and get an extra Dragon Breath through when they throw, and then deny their Dragon Breath when I throw, so we can get to 2 Sky Attacks before they get to 1. Before they get to 2 even, so that we can take them out and possibly get a shield out of them. Because someone who leads Altaria often doesn't have the best answer in the back, and Registeel is a pretty good answer to an Altaria, but like we say, not in the 2 shields. If you swap in a Registeel to an Altaria at the beginning of the match, Altaria can take that. So now we're going to bring in Drifblim and preserve the Altaria with a smidgen of health, so we can use it as an extra shield down the line if we need to, because we were just going to get Lock-on Farm down anyway. So rather than let that happen fully, we figured we might as well swap out and get some pressure on this Registeel with some Shadow Balls from Drifblim. And they haven't swapped out, which means there's a good chance that their third Pokemon is weak to Ghost. So, well, we're praying it's weak to Ghost because we got Haunter and all shields are down now. And when shields are down, if they've got a Fairy in back, Haunter's got no chance. And it's a Mew, which is weak to Ghost, but also it's running Shadow Claw as its fast move, so we don't want to see that. Haunter is crazy squishy, and we were unsure if we'd get to the Shadow Ball, so we throw an Icy Wind. So we hope now we can survive one charge move. We attempt to catch an Altaria, we make a shambles of that, so the Mew gets extra energy. So even if we can survive one move, we certainly can't survive 2. So maybe the play there was to just come in with Haunter and commit to try and get to a Shadow Punch before they got to 2 moves. But either way, we're going to take an L there. Good game. So we're heading into the last battle before I leave you guys for this video, and we've got a Pelipper lead once again. Brilliant lead. A lot of the leads that we were seeing were very good for Altaria. I don't think many people are either expecting to see Altaria, or they're especially not expecting to see it in the lead. And Bastiodons are either, you know, there's a lot of Bastiodons on lead, but there's also a lot that hide in back, which is slightly better for this team because it means we don't have to give away that our entire line is weak to it in the beginning. And again, they swapped into a Sableye, so we're going to stop in and deal with this with Altaria, at least get both shields, swap into Haunter, and go for a crazy aggressive farm down. They throw a return for what, God knows what reason. We would actually survive a return with Haunter just because it'd be double resisted. We're going to go and throw a Sludge Bomb at Pelipper, absolutely smash it to bits. And this Pelipper's got to throw energy to get rid of the Haunter. So now the Sableye's basically dead, the Pelipper's basically dead, so we're just going to come in with Drifblim and hopefully debuff the Pokemon in the back, but it's a Registeel. So really the answer's probably Shadow Ball City, throw 2 Shadow Balls at this, and then Altaria's going to be in a good spot just to Dragon Breath the rest of it down, as well as the Sableye. So if you're not seeing Bastiodons, this team will probably work for you at your ELO. It's very effective because it only has that one real big problem. And if you keep running into Bastiodons, let me know. Hashtag Bastiodon smells. We don't like that thing. But let me tell you guys, since I've started accommodating for Bastiodon leads, we have been doing incredibly well with our new team, which I'll be putting a video up with tomorrow. So if you want to see that, don't forget to like and subscribe. We have managed to get up to over 2,900 ELO using our new team in Remix Cup. So we're going to try and get that out for you guys tomorrow, so you can hopefully take advantage of it over the weekend before Remix Cup leaves us. There is still quite a bit of time left in the season to hit Legend. If you're still hoping to make a push, you can still make hundreds of points a day with the right team and the right play. So you can still make it, there's still time. Even if you're far off, don't be discouraged. We got this, my dudes. So as always, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.